In April 2025, gold prices hit $3,357 per ounce, a new record. Investors rushed in, central banks stocked up, and for millions of people across the world, the question quietly crept in. Why is everything getting so expensive? The answer starts in Washington, and it leads straight to one man. Donald Trump. He's back. And with him, so is the economic strategy that shook the world last time, tariffs. But this time, it's bigger, bolder, and way more dangerous. Trump has always believed in economic warfare, using tariffs as a tool to protect American jobs. In 2025, he reintroduced this weapon with even more force. Tariffs on Chinese goods raised from 10% to 145%. Tariffs on Mexican imports up to 60% on auto parts and produce. European Union hit with 35% tariffs on steel, wine, and luxury cars. These numbers are not just tweaks in policy, they are tectonic shifts in how global trade operates. Trump calls it America first, but other countries, they call it an attack. Within days, China retaliated. Beijing announced tariffs of up to 125% on US tech products, agriculture exports, and even rare earth minerals critical to everything from smartphones to military equipment. But here is where it gets serious. These tariffs weren't just economic, they were surgical. They hit swing states, farm states, blue-collar industries, the political heart of Trump's base. And they sent a message. You hit us, we hit you back. Now imagine that same tit-for-tat approach multiplying country after country, each one responding to tariffs with more tariffs, each one protecting itself. This is how a trade war starts. A trade war isn't declared with a single move. It starts with tariffs, then comes retaliation, then more tariffs, then restrictions, bans, nationalistic policies, strategic alliances, countries begin to isolate, trust breaks down, global supply chains, ones that took decades to build, starts to crack. And when nation stops cooperating economically, the world doesn't just get more expensive, it gets unstable. This isn't just theory. We've seen it before. In the 1930s, the US introduced the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, raising tariffs on over 20,000 imports. Dozens of countries responded. Global trade collapsed, and the Great Depression got worse. Today's version is bigger, faster, and more interconnected. Here's the hidden cost of all of this. Tariffs aren't paid by foreign countries. They are paid by you. When the US puts 145% tariffs on Chinese electronics, companies importing those goods do not just eat the loss, they pass it on. Laptops get more expensive. Phones, solar panels, even your electric toothbrush. And it doesn't just stop there, because now that EU is being taxed too, the cost of wine, cheese, and cars rises. With Mexico, fruits, vegetables, and meat. In just 2 months, US inflation jumped 1.8%, directly tied to Trump's new tariffs. Whenever the world feels shaky, there's a rush to gold. It's physical, scarce, immune to inflation, and not controlled by any government. That's why in this storm of tariffs and inflation, gold prices exploded from $2,000 to $3,357 per ounce, a new record. And that is just the beginning. Analysts at Goldman Sachs forecast it could soar past $4,500 if this economic instability continues. Even central banks are buying. China bought 25 tons in January alone. India and Russia are quietly doing the same, because gold is more than just a commodity. It's a vote of no confidence in the system. Meanwhile, as fear rises and inflation grows, the US dollar, long considered the world's most stable currency, has started to fall. Foreign investors are pulling out. Emerging markets are dumping dollar reserves. Confidence is slipping, and when the dollar drops, gold looks even more attractive, especially for countries buying in other currencies. So now we have a cycle. Tariffs cause inflation. Inflation weakens the dollar. A weak dollar boosts gold demand, and gold price rises further, becoming the only thing that feels safe. If this pattern continues, we are heading towards a fragmented global economy. Imagine two parallel trade systems, one led by the US, forcing loyalty through tariffs and control, another led by China, offering alternatives through the BRICS alliance and Belt and Road Initiative. Nations would be forced to choose sides. Multilateralism would fade, cooperation would break, and the global economy would become more about power than trade. In this world, prices are higher, supply chains are fractured, gold becomes a necessity, not a luxury. Tariffs may look like a tool of strength, but in practice, they are the first step towards economic isolation. And when nations stop trading, everyone loses. From the farmer in Iowa to the factory worker in Shenzhen to the family in Berlin buying groceries, they all feel the cost. Gold isn't rising because the world is rich, it's rising because the world is scared. This isn't just about trade, it's about trust. And right now, trust is breaking.